You know, this is a really good question because grace is kind of a concept that is abstract. It's not like you can measure it and kind of...
We all think we're gracious, but it's just hard to do it when we have a specific incident.
Yeah, exactly, especially when it's in marriage, right? And, you know, I learned an important lesson years ago when I went to this conference that was for psychologists, but it was all about humor and laughter and play. And one of the speakers on the very first day did this kind of little exercise with teaching us all how to juggle. And this was something that just kind of stuck with me because it had to do with, he said, you take these 3 brightly colored pieces of cloth that he provided to this whole room full of psychologists, and he went through about a dozen steps teaching us to juggle, throwing these things up in the air. But the very first step that he taught us is a lot to say about grace. He said the very first step in learning to juggle is to take one of those pieces of cloth, hold it out at arm's length, and drop it. And we all kind of looked around at each other and said, drop it? You know, why? We want to get going on with this juggling business. He said, no, no, no. He said, this is the very first step in learning to juggle. It's to get your mistake over with right at the beginning. Isn't that good? And then he said, we call that the guilt-free drop. And when he said that, I had to write that down because that's what grace is all about, a guilt-free drop.
Yeah, for your spouse.
Giving your spouse permission to be human and make a mistake from time to time.
And it does open up a window of grace when someone does that to you, when they realize, you know what, no, you didn't do it perfectly, I'm not perfect either, and we're going to move on, I'm going to assume the best. I'm going to assume the best about your intentions, and I'm going to trust you.
Which is a
you're going to give it your best again.
Gift. That's a huge gift to somebody, and that's what grace is all about, giving that gift.
Right? And it really does give you the energy to try again and do a better job the next time.
Now, that doesn't mean necessarily, depending on your situation, that you just kind of roll grace out at every corner.
Not for things that are harmful, especially to your spouse. If they're making choices that are self-destructive or going to be destructive to the relationship, you're not talking about that kind of stuff.
No, we're talking about kind of those little things in life where, you know, they forgot to pick up this or do this that they said they would or whatever. Hey, we're all human beings.
Didn't follow through, you know, whatever it is, the daily kind of mosquitoes of marriage.
Exactly. So think about that, how you can give one another a guilt-free drop.